Alrighty. Cybershock, hello. Let me just get some stuff. The same old soundtrack. Anyway, how is it going? Aditya as well. Hello, hello. So today, today someone who has 5 years of experience, mobile development experience, looking for an upper intermediate role, which is like our, just before senior level. So we'll see. I mean, 5 years experience sounds promising, and yeah. So I got their CV. I don't know if there's anything that's going to stand out. If it loads, yes, it does. There's a lot of writing. Sure. Wow, each place that he worked in is like half a page of stuff that they used, technologies and stuff. So I'm not really gonna read that too much, but let me just go and download code and get going. Cybershock, I saw you playing Genshin. Don't pretend like nothing's going on here. The Discord never lies. Alrighty. What's going on here? Okay, that should be fine. Open it up in Android Studio. And I need to update my production value as well, showing their experience on the overlay thing. What am I doing? Where is studio mode there? Five years experience. Cool. Nah, that's good. Need to take some time off once in a while. Chill a bit. Not stress constantly about work and studies and that kind of thing. So that's good. Okay, just syncing the project, so I'll show you when I can. But this was interesting. It's the first one that was sent to me on Google Drive as a zip file. Normally it's on, one of the popular source control websites. Gotta have some of this stuff. Not sponsored, of course. But I've got a late night coming up, so gonna need all that energy. Was in that event for though. I don't know what that means, sorry. Does it have git ignore? I hope it doesn't have a .git. Where has it gone? No, okay, it only has a git ignore, not a git folder. Oh, come on. Sync faster, please. I don't know if it was lagging a bit there. Oh well, can't do much. Hey, finally finished syncing. Phew. Yeah, it even builds as an added bonus. Okay. Okay, I need to just rename stuff. Monster should sponsor. I wish. I mean, not that I live on Monster or anything, but sometimes it's necessary. Oh shit, I pressed the wrong button. I didn't mean to run the app yet, but okay. Just need to rename some stuff quickly. And then we'll be good. Sorry, I forgot to reply. Why don't people trust GitHub? I've not heard that before. Like, oh, it's a big corporation and they're scared of it, or what? That sounds a bit crazy. That is interesting. Aditya, shoot, what's your question? Oh shoot, just trying to rename some stuff. Sorry, I'm almost done. What? Oh. Okay, never mind. Alright, almost ready. Let me just do one last build and run. Microsoft, right. Putting in microchips and stuff and getting all your information from GitHub. Oh boy. Okay, cool, looks like it's set. So it is a Java project. Into presentation mode. Right, it's a Java project. Stop. Android Studio, come on, bruh. And on the email that recruitment sent me, they said that he encountered some errors in Kotlin, so he completed it in Java. I'm very interested to know what problems he ran into in Kotlin, but I guess he hasn't learned it yet, so was more comfortable with Java. Alright, and boom. Look at that production value. I changed the 3 to a 5 down here without having you to watch me type it. Test message. I see your test message, but I only saw your one where you asked if you have before your test message, I only saw where you said you have a question. So I don't know, maybe you posted a link or something. I can't allow links at all, it doesn't let me. And it doesn't tell me when it gets deleted from a link. So it's very weird. So sorry about that if you posted a link. You typed your question. I didn't see anything, sorry. Maybe again, maybe it was too long, maybe... I don't know. Just try again, maybe. We're not doing anything to you, don't worry. So this is what the app looks like. Oh. That screen should not be there. So let me just actually start from scratch. Where it asks for permission, because I wasn't really paying attention. Okay. Allow whatever to access your location. Deny. We need to access location on your phone. Cool, so at least that is handled. And you press allow and it goes to the screen, which is good, fetches the weather. We have a random save button. I guess that's add to favorite. You refreshed and you're sending it. I'm sorry, I really... Yeah, I'm not seeing any messages. I don't know if you're on our Discord, you can send it there maybe. But something is happening and stuff is getting lost in cyberspace. Twitch is better. I just don't have any followers on Twitch, so... I mean, I guess it doesn't really make a difference. I have, what, just over 900 subs on YouTube and... we get like 5 people here. Yeah, this thing is, I don't know, missing a constraint or something. And now the button is gone. What? Huh? Oh boy. Weird stuff is going on. So, when I try to go to favorites, it just goes back. It just opens a new activity each time. I mean, you can see that. You can kind of see them behind. There you go. But each time it opens a new a new activity, so something a bit weird is going on there. It's a bit of a shame because it is a nice to have, the favorites feature. So it's a shame if it's not working. How to find out best projects on GitHub. GitHub has an explore feature, don't they? I have not really explored GitHub in that sense and searched for projects on it. But I know they have an explore where it will show you what's trending and things like that. But I don't know if you can refine it to Android projects or some other specific language. Let's see. Where? Yeah, so you can see this, right? Yes. It's So at the top of GitHub you have this explore, and it takes you to a page like this, and oh yeah, it even says based on repositories you've starred, so it shows you things that might be of interest to you. That's cool. Trending developers, trending repositories today. Here's 196,000 stars. Coding interview university. What? Short to-do list of study topics for becoming a software engineer. I got hired as a software development engineer at Amazon. Wow. Well, this seems very useful. I guess it's a... Oh wow, this page has so much stuff on it. Jeepers. All the topics that he learned at university. Very useful. People have a lot of info. Like wikis, okay. Yeah, there's already a wiki feature. I don't know if it was not around back then. Okay, so otherwise this app looks pretty standard. Other than this weird issue of it just opening the home activity again. I don't know why, maybe there was a bug that they left in accidentally. And what, it allows you to save the favorite every time. And I've got like 5 favorites of the same place. Interesting. Okay, let's see if I change the location. Hello? Okay, so it is updating, but the thing is just frozen there. And it's a bit strange if it shows like placeholder data. See, it says 25 sunny while it's loading. It's like giving you false hope. And there seems to be issues with getting the correct location as well. I mean, the favorites are there. If I kill the app, if I go back, you'll see it for a brief moment. It shows 5 of them. So they are actually saved on disk. But it just doesn't... I guess this button is only hidden when you click it, not initially. If it's already saved. Jeepers, man, this is... Okay, I need to check that if it's their code or if it's the location stuff acting weird again. But we can check code now, so let's start on service layer as usual. We have API interface, retrofit. One call again. Interesting. Get 4 cats. Oh, I love that. The four cats. Wait, query map? I guess you can just build up your own query parameters. Yeah, so it's like passing latitude, longitude in a map. Interesting, I didn't know you can do that in retrofit. Four cats anyway. Yes, they have 5 years experience. 5 years. I think that was what they said. 5 years mobile development experience. And then sorry. My Outlook likes to stop loading PDFs and it breaks. Yeah, the CV. So I don't know. Wow, he did. He was doing Android back in 2010 to 2013. Android 2.3. I guess he's been doing it on and off really, not since then. Yeah, he's been doing web stuff as well, back end. Spring Boot. What? He lists Kotlin on here, but he can't write an app in Kotlin. No, it seems like he has more experience in software overall. He says, with over 6 years of hands-on experience in many levels of software development, including requirements, elicitation. Who uses that word? Requirements, elicitation, coding, testing, support, and maintenance. So he's been doing software things for like 6+ years, which is impressive. It's a while. But I'm not loving this commented out stuff. Just delete it if you don't need it. Oh, he was using it for the debugging, the printing of the service calls, but rather in here you would have like if build config .debug, right? If it's debug, then you can add the interceptor, else you don't need to. Oh, it's a singleton as well. But no, it's not really a singleton. It's stored as a field, but it newed up every time, which is probably not great. I mean, okay, it's not bad, it's just not singleton. So you don't need a field here at all. But generally I think retrofit services should be singletons because they don't really need multiple instances. So we have a lot of entities as well. Was it meant to be a singleton? I think so. Did Android 2.3 have fragments? I don't know, hey? I don't know how you would even find that out. The Android 3.0 was fragments. There's a blog post on it. An important goal for Android 3 is to make it easier for developers to write applications that can scale across a variety of screen sizes. Introducing the fragment. Yeah, so 2.3 didn't even have fragments. Okay. So we have DTOs here. Generated. Huh. Interesting. Oh, I guess he used an online tool to generate this class, which makes sense. JSON schema to pojo.org. Okay, fair enough. What are these expose things for? Are they necessary? Indicates that this member should be exposed for serialization. Has no effect unless you build JSON with build and invoke exclude fields without expose annotation. I'm pretty sure this is not configured. Yeah. So essentially all these expose annotations in here are not necessary, because by default it will expose properties when you deserialize and serialize. Ugh, but I mean, it's not train smash stuff. But that looks fine. I mean, DTOs are never fun. So we have a database room, I think. The view model is in the database package. Interesting. Oh, sorry, but we have an app database, which is a room database, which is cool. In here there is singleton, at least, which is good. Checking if the field is set already. Although you probably want to put synchronize in here, just to make sure if you have multiple threads running around, you won't end up with two of them. Either that, or you have to do that weird double locking, double if check thing, which is ugly. So, okay, yeah, it's, as we saw, it's not an in-memory one, it's actual on disk. And on that note, let me just test the offline functionality. I don't think it works. That is a proper error. That's like an error that makes you feel bad about yourself. It's so in your face and like, what have you done to get to this point? A kind of error message. Oh no. Oh boy. But I don't know why they're saving the forecast if it's not being used in offline mode. Oh, even that, it still keeps doing that. Whew. Forgot to turn off the Java X setting. Probably, was that for the... Oh wait, where were we? Entity. Yeah, I guess you don't really need these generated annotations, right? Typically, if it's if the file itself is like living in the generated folder or something, or the annotation processor will add this stuff, but I guess the website wanted to plug themselves. It's fair enough. You can't be hating. Okay, so sorry. The database has two DAOs, favorites. Nice, using a live data, which is good because it's observable at least. Maybe I'll make this a flow these days, because I think they recommend only using live data on view model level, because it's lifecycle aware, and you know, a database doesn't care about the lifecycle of a view. So maybe flow is a better fit, but it works and you can observe changes, which is nice. So you get them all, you insert. You get the favorites. Oh, this one isn't a live data anymore. But getting a specific one by ID. What? This is the same, is it? I guess I have a list version and a single version, which is not used. The forecast DAO, I guess, is pretty similar. Yeah. Fair enough. Concurrency is a myth. It is. Just do everything on main thread. Seems good. Dabbled with Android. It seems that way. I mean, on their CV, they have a lot of back-end experience as well. With Spring and that kind of stuff, so yeah, they do have that experience. Model. This is what returned by room, I guess. Yeah. Oh, dude, if this was Kotlin, it would be so much shorter. Just a data class with a few fields in it. Properties. But I guess this is the Java vibe. At least this time they have a proper primary key. Unlike yesterday, where they were using the latitude. And then this is like a intermediate entity, I don't know what you want to call it. Where you can relate two different things. So one favorite place with a list of forecasts, you can get it in a nice little object, which is quite nice. Yeah. And then room like automatically, magically knows how to create this object. It's quite interesting to deal with. But I think that's fine. I'll look at the view models soon. What else is going on here? Network entities we checked. Database. Yeah, that's all good. Just view models. Location. Oh boy. Importing manually. Which one was that? This one? Oh, I see. Because I added this dot star. That would be... Or maybe they had more fields in and... Or used more imports and then removed them. But didn't optimize imports. I mean, adding imports is one of the things we don't need to do in an IDE. It's one of the most basic things that it helps you with. I don't know when I last typed an import manually. Okay, let's just minimize that. So we have a GPS tracker, which is a service, actually. Right, and this is the normal Android service. Yes. Interesting. I've not seen many people do it this way. Maybe only one or two others. I don't know if it's the best way to go about it. I don't really know services that well, admittedly. Location listener, that's part of Google stuff. Wait, this should... okay, that could be private, at least. I was gonna say, how are they magically calling this from outside? And I'm pretty sure you have access to a context, like you don't need to store your own one. Right, you could just say get context. Yeah, application context. So this is a bit... This is a bit of a spoiler, but this is the activity, and they're passing the activity context to a service, which is probably not great because the activity will outlive it, right? Well, probably not in this app, but the activity could outlive the service. No, other way around. The service will outlive the activity. So if you're trying to use this context now, when the activity is gone, you're going to have a hard time. So it probably shouldn't be passing in non-application context here. But in this app, again, it's fine, because you have like one screen only. Oh. Wait, location manager? Huh? I didn't know this was a thing. As a system service. Interesting. GPS and network. If your device doesn't support either of them, just like do nothing. Yo. Doing permission stuff in a service. I can't. This stuff is too wide. I can't see things. Oof. Sorry, I'm trying to find the best way to view this. Can I format it? Okay, I guess that works. If the permission... Oh, okay, find location and course location. If they are both not granted, request permission and just cast it to an activity, you know. Because why not? Yo. Had to do some Python. Oh. The Python import. Yeah, having to know all those Python packages and stuff. But because IntelliJ or JetBrains has PyCharm, but maybe it's not free, I guess. I'm just trying to load it, but it's slow. Downloads. Oh, there's a community edition of PyCharm, but I don't know the pros and cons of those because I don't do Python. But yes, be glad we can just alt enter our problems away. We've actually run into, in our app at work, problems. Like old dodgy code we have likes to cast stuff. You know, if you're in a fragment and you have a base activity, casting the context to the base activity class and then doing whatever. And it works fine, but now that we migrated to Hilt, it breaks. Because like the fragment's context is now not a context, not a normal context, it's like Hilt's wrapper context. And if you try to cast it, it fails, and it's not fun. So I just try to avoid casting context stuff at all times, because it's not fun. Anyway, requesting permission in the service class. And even if it's denied, we still try to get updates, which is interesting. I guess is wrapped in a try-catch, so nothing bad will happen. Okay, last known location. Oh wait, this is if network is enabled. Getting the location from your network, then we get the last known location. But if GPS is enabled, we get location updates. And this is the listener, so it will go down here, I guess, somewhere. Huh. Empty methods? Wait, what am I missing? Let me just unimplement this thing. I'm pretty sure this should be implemented. Because all of them are empty that, you know, that come from that interface, the location listener. I'll just add it back. Am I crazy? So at the moment it's just relying on network location, right? And again, this code is, I think, borrowed from somewhere else. Unused stuff. But if GPS is enabled, we... Oh, no, here we go. So it also uses last known. Ugh, I'm just blind. Okay, both of them are doing location updates, but these get ignored, pretty much. And then we just ask for the last known one. I don't know if this is correct, because I don't know if this will... If this will have updated the last known location, you know, before it comes down here. Seems like it would happen asynchronously over a few seconds. So I don't know if this is actually doing anything. Geez, sorry, I'm missing some stuff. Wow. I didn't want to install PyCharm for such a small task. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that makes sense. Sometimes you don't need a whole IDE to write one small file. Wait, what do you mean not equals? Sorry, I don't know what you were referring to. Oh, sorry, I missed the above message. How to write that not equals. It's in the settings, font. This setting. Enable font ligatures. The font has to support it. I like using JetBrains Mono because it looks good. But yeah, if you tick that, it will change the symbol slightly to be more readable, apparently. Some people don't like it, but I think it looks cool. Looks bigger. Yeah, I think it... I don't know, I just like it. It's a nice little aesthetic. Activity util, yeah. Does request this thing? Nah, it's a void. Produce lots of documentation. Register for location updates from the given provider. The listener callbacks will take place on the given looper, whatever. Only one request. It might take a while to receive the first location update. You see, that's what worries me. So they do this method and then they immediately say get last known location, which will probably not get a fresh location. I don't know. Sorry. So, how can I put some stuff in here? I'm interested to see. GPS. Sometimes I like to just see what's going on instead of just trying to compile it in my head, so to say. Okay, it gets both. Interesting. Yeah, so in this case you probably want to have an else, not do both. In the case that both of them are supported, you'd probably want to do one only. Because now on my emulator both of these are happening. So let's see, network location. I can't do string templates, sad. GPS location. I don't know what's going on here. But yeah, definitely I think the moral of the story is that this method should have been implemented. When you get a location update, you know, do stuff with it. But now it's in a service class, so how do you update the rest of the app? Very interesting. Let me just see. There's a cellular section in the settings, but it doesn't really give you that much, just a few drop downs. You can choose the network type. Edge. I don't know which networks have GPS support, if it's all of them. Or Uber, hello. Hello, we're checking a service class that is requesting permissions. It's very interesting. You can send an SMS to the device. I don't think you can change an IP though. You can specify a proxy, but I don't think that really helps because I don't know any proxies. Meh. So I guess it's only getting location based on your internet, right? Not actual GPS. This is great, blank settings thing. Okay, need to move on, I think. This is interesting class. I don't know, why is it a service though? Because they're not overriding like service methods. Can I just minimize this somehow, please? So in the constructor they immediately call this getLocation thing. And after that method we don't really have any overrides. I mean, these overrides are just from the location listener, so that's fine, right? Yes, on location changed. Yeah, so this one is the from the service, the binder thing. So not really using any actual service methods. So I mean, you can just make this extend nothing. And then nothing breaks. Only the bind method I need to comment out. But then what, I can build and install like normal. No ways that worked. I guess I was registered in the manifest. I guess that could break if it started automatically, but... Oh wait, come on, so if I go to the activity... Yeah, so they're not even like starting the service. So it's not, it doesn't need to be a service at all. Normally you would say start service. You know, like you would start an activity. Ugh, Kotlin. Normally you would start a service so that it runs, but yeah, this doesn't need to be a service at all. And I'll just undo stuff. You can put mock location data. Sad. Okay, sorry. So we have the GPS tracker. We have an unused async geocoder. Okay. Oh, disposable. They were dreamt of using some RX here. But I guess that dream didn't come true. Let's have a look at some utils. Constants. To do, take out my API key. Unused stuff, whatever. Preference manager, unused. Request permissions helper. And a utility with various other methods. I mean, these are, I guess, unavoidable. I just don't know if I would make it like a separate thing if it's used one place only. But it's still fine. So this is just getting the name of the day, like Monday, Tuesday. Getting the icon. Wait, what? Huh? Get image names from asset folder. What is going on? Interesting. What? Why not just make them drawables? I think that's the first time I've seen people getting stuff from assets. See sunny png.png. Okay, where was that code again? This thing. It's so complicated. You need to get asset manager, open a specific file, decode it. Usually you're supposed to close the stream as well. Definitely a web dev. Yeah, I mean, instead of all of this, you just say r.drawable.rain or whatever. What are these magic numbers now? Get image names from asset folder. What? Ugh. This formatting hurts me as well. Wait, how? What? Oh, no ways. Wait, hold up. Are they using indices? I'm so confused. Because here they return a number, like clear is 2. And then let me just go to the adapter, that was easier. So if I extract it to a variable, magic number. So in this case, this magic number thing was 2. And then they use that. Okay, let me just extract this as well. Asset names. Then asset itself. So this is what's happening. They're listing all of the assets in the icons folder, right? Listing all of these files. And then getting one at the index of the number that this function returned. I think that's what's happening. So here it returns 2 for clear. So you have 0, 1, 2, and it returns this one. Wow. Sorry, let me just close all of that other stuff. Yeah, so it's... This is bad, because now if you add a new file that starts with A or something, all of these indexes have to change. And you probably won't know it until you see random stuff in your app looking strange. I mean, huh? So, first prize is... Yeah, this is definitely some weird web stuff going on here. But Aditya, you're asking about how to access these. First of all, you don't. First of all, you put it in the drawables folder instead of assets. Right, res drawable, that's where it's supposed to be. But what they're doing is they are... This code pretty much here is what's going on. You're getting the asset manager from the context, and then you're opening something in the asset folder. So this is going to be icons here. The icons folder, and then inside there you're getting a specific file. And then you're converting it to a bitmap. So it's very manual. Whereas if you put it in the drawable folder, right, it generates the thing for you. r.drawable. whatever. So over here, first prize would be... I need to format this as well. So if the description is clear, you would just return r.drawable .clear or something, right? It doesn't exist because it's not in the drawables, but this is definitely what first prize would be for me. And then clouds would be a different one. And same for drizzle, right? You get the idea. This is super dodge. But now instead they return the index of the file in this folder. So like drizzle is 6, So it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for drizzle, they use this this rain little icon. It's the first time I've seen something like that. Even if it's assets. I guess I've never used assets, I think. I don't know what it's intended to be used for. Maybe if it's like larger files or stuff that you don't need to access as a normal resource. Like some kind of raw file, I don't even know. But this is extremely fragile, because as soon as you change these icons around, you're gonna have to change the indices. So please don't do this. If anything, return a string. And then instead of returning the number, you just return clear at 3x.png. This is a bit more stable, at least. Bit more reliable. At least now the app will probably crash if this thing doesn't exist, or if you remove stuff and doesn't rely on indexes. Oh boy. Okay, anyway, sorry, gone on about that for long enough. For databases and fonts. Oh, okay. Makes sense. Where was I? Utility, and then permissions helper. We really do need to get the word out about the activity contracts to simplify all of this permissions logic, because it is amazing. Okay, now for the UI layer. So, the main activity. If they have a large enough string, they'll hit out of memory exception when scrolling. Oh, true. Okay. Assets for static things. Yeah, exactly. Not your conventional resources like strings or drawables or that kind of stuff. Okay, so in the activity we have a lot going on, a lot of fields. Those are all views, which is alright. Would be nice to see data binding or view binding, but it's fine. Storing some stuff, some unused things. Again, probably best to store things in the view model that are like data related. Adapter is fine, but you know, data stuff should be in the view model layer. Like storing favorites and stuff here is not too great because it gets destroyed if you rotate device and things like that. Alright, uses both view models here. Oh, okay, so you can load up the main activity and give it the favorite that you want to view. Or I guess fav place. I guess you can give it the latitude and longitude that you want to view the weather for. Firing an intent for each location request. Maybe. Now you see, this is already a bit dodgy because this this map thing that was being used as retrofit parameters definitely shouldn't be on happening on the view layer. Okay, let's just find where main activity is used. Okay, so main activity, sorry, see it again. Manifest itself, permissions, whatever. So favorites activity starts main activity, which is the problem. On click listener. So essentially what's supposed to happen is when you click on a favorite location, it shows you the weather for that location. Which makes sense, but I don't know why it's happening magically. Oh. There you go. So okay. So on bind view holder. What is going on? So I think this logic was supposed to be in the on click listener itself, but on bind view holder they're just calling this function. Right, if I follow this function, it goes here and it immediately starts an activity. It's not setting any listeners or anything, so that's even worse, because for each favorite you have, it's starting at one activity. So 5 favorites equals 5 activities. Let's just see that. So I've got nothing. Go to favorites. I have 5 of them. Yep, that's not great. This should be here, I guess. I guess this was like not tested properly, but now if I take that out, should finally be able to view the favorite screen. Hey, look at that. I mean, I don't think it should really allow you to save the same location multiple times, but I'll take it. And now what happens is, in theory, you click on one of them only, and then it takes you to the map. Yeah, so this thing was set listeners. Okay. Layout item. I always forget how you do lambdas in Java. Is it like that? Come on. And then I can get rid of that. Well, that's a bit better, I think. Again, not that formatting. That. I love fixing applicants' code. Hey. They figured the name meant the functionality. Yeah, if I name something correctly, it'll just work. But they still have the problem now. You have multiple activities because it's not doing single top or single task. I forget which is which. I don't know what would be the best way to go about something like this. If you maybe start favorites for a result, and then you finish favorites with a result of the new location that should show. I don't know if that makes more sense, or if you just start main activity but with the flag of single task or single top or whatever. But yeah, at the moment you're just left with multiple on the stack. Meh. Okay, cool. I should submit a pull request. Oh wait, no, I can't because it's a Google Drive file. Okay, I'm gonna just try and skip through a little bit. Need to sort of finish up soon. So when we click save, I still don't know why the forecasts are being saved if they're not really used. But whatevs. On resume, jeebus. Phew. Yeah. Oh, dude, all of these could just disappear with view binding. Would be so nice. Why do I have random breakpoints? What? Forget 4 cats. The 4 cats are back. You see now. I don't know, man. There seems to be such a lack of architecture knowledge. I don't know if it's something in this country or in general, but so many people actually do service calls on the view layer. If it was in the view model, it would be a little bit better, but come on. I would expect this from a junior, maybe, who don't know about what is a view model. But anyway, constructing the retrofit service, getting the 4 cats. On success, just hiding stuff, whatever. Oh, on not success, on error. That was that lovely shouting error message, that's huge red text. Yeah, and then you called it Cybershock. Just passing the message straight from the service. Oh, this is the exceptions message, never mind, the throwable. Right, the throwable there. The throwable's message just goes to the text view. Beautiful, and then I guess similar stuff for the other service call. Yeah. Okay, I guess. Yeah, I mean, if I think back to university, I did computer science. And I mean, it's a lot of theory, right? And not as much prac as I would have liked, maybe, but it gives you the good understanding of the reasons for doing stuff. But I mean, I didn't learn any Android at university, so of course architecture would just... You don't know about architecture at all. It's hopefully something you would pick up during experience. But then again, if you only worked as a single developer, you're not going to know about it. So I guess it does kind of make sense, but I would also like people to read up and follow modern standards. Only after that to do concurrency. Yeah. I mean, they don't want to go into too much depth, I suppose. They don't want to go overboard with stuff, just show you the basics. I'm not sure what you're studying, but it might be a lot of theory and the reasons for doing stuff. And then we have loops in here. Eesh. Constructing the displayed list manually in the view. Well, I mean, of course it has to be manually, but I mean, preferably in view model layer. Doing some nice rounding. And here we had the icon loading. We have our good old notify dataset changed. Again, people store a context in the adapter when they don't need to. Anyway, on create view holder, inflating, whatever. This seems fine. All my code that I was testing. But as you mentioned, this could be an issue if you have lots of items and you're scrolling and getting out of memory. Especially because this is doing I/O, right? It's reading files and stuff. And now you're in an adapter which is on the main thread and you have lots of items in the list, so this is not going to be great performance. Maybe if this thing was stored in the field in the adapter, the list of all the assets, it would be a bit better. Because now each time you're binding, you're getting all of them, all of the icons, and then here you get the one you need below. Whew, interesting. And also that notified dataset changed wasn't necessary because the list is taken in the constructor. It's not mutable. There's no like set list or submit list. So this could just be taken out. Somewhere in between, people get into doing projects. Without understanding of a specific field. Yeah. I mean, I suppose that's the nature of studying, where they don't really want to steer you in a direction of a specific framework field kind of thing. Just trying to think what we did. You learned C++ first year, Java second year, but we didn't do any mobile apps. Just, you know, little terminal apps pretty much. And doing a lot of address stuff, mapping. Oof. And then here we do a similar thing, reading from assets for these backgrounds. Definitely should be drawables, I think. Anywho, just close those. So what actually happens in the view model then? Because that's a lot happening there. Is it just getting from the DAO? Okay, sorry. Forecast view model. Oh, they do use architecture view model. Interesting. But... oh wow, they're even using view model provider. I didn't see that. Wow. But then in here, Async Tasks. Cybershark, save me. I don't believe what I'm seeing. I thought they were gone. I thought they had been eradicated. Oh, there's even more of them. Anyway, the view models are just inserting into the DAO. Huh? It's not even used. Alright, we saw that the forecast cache data was not used anyway, because it just shows you an error. And then the favorites, of course, we do get the favorites because we do see that list coming through. Close it. I need bleach for my eyes. Even if colleagues had practical projects, or even if colleges, sorry, had practical projects, is useless. They don't teach you to do projects. I guess, yeah, I mean, like tertiary education always has, I guess, that issue. Teaching you a lot of theory, but not really preparing you practically for the world. We always had return null here. Yeah, they're just inserting into the DAO on a background thread, and it's a fire and forget kind of deal. Just execute the task, and there's no on post execute. Is that what it's called? Post execute. Yeah. So they're not doing anything with the result, just switching to a different thread. But I mean, wouldn't it be easier to do like executors dot single thread dot execute, right? Oh, something like that. I mean, maybe I guess they don't know about executors, but this is a lot simpler for your fire and forget calls. You would make this into a thread somewhere, a singleton maybe, like your room executor. And then you can just do that instead of having a whole new class. Oh boy. Operations async. It's only extended by this one. It does a very important job, okay. It stores a property that is then used by this thing. Oh, I don't know, man. Are they setting live? Setting live data. Where did you see get a value? So they are using what comes from the DAO. Well, this is technically not used, but storing the live data that is returned by the DAO here. And then that is updated by these tasks, right? They update the DAO, and then the DAO updates its live data object. And then your changes would flow through to the UI. I'm guessing that's what happens on this, the favorites one at least. Yeah, because this one is actually used. And then they are observing on it. Impressive. People love storing fields for everything. Okay, here we have our notified dataset change in the other adapter, the favorites one. Yeah, so list adapter is your friend. Okay, anyway, I think I'm done with the view models. They're quite similar. I would, again, like to see a repo layer that takes care of this. Repo should interact with service and database. And then the view model just asks for live data or a flow. I can confidently say I don't know when I last saw an async task in these assessments. Even the Java projects, I think they normally use... What do they normally do? I think they just use retrofits, yeah, like in queue stuff. I don't know how many async tasks I've seen. Or like RX, I guess I've seen that as well. At least it's observing. Yeah. Yeah, we just say get value. I guess in that case, maybe it shouldn't even be a live data if you rely on it having a value at that specific time. I saw that, Yuba. I saw your message. Okay, sorry, almost done. I just want to see activities. So the main one we're done with permissions was just that's like startup one when you have not granted. Is this the launch? This is even the launch activity actually. So if we have granted permissions already, just go to main activity. I mean, I guess this isn't bad, to be honest. It's either this or the other way around, where you start main and then you check there if you haven't got permission, and then you start permission activity. I never really know which way is the best way around it. This way is probably a bit more intensive, a bit less performant, because you start up this activity and then most of the time you'll just end up closing it straight away. So maybe it's best to have a check in the main activity. But I mean, it's negligible. You could probably even move this set content view. Is there even a view? Yeah. So you could move set content view down a bit to maybe improve performance, but again, not a huge issue. One at RX, no caching. So, yeah. Yeah, well, that's a good point actually. Maybe then that other weird service class isn't necessary, because this seems to be handling it here. Only starting main if it's granted. But oh, there's this callback. Yeah. Okay, I want to check that out actually. What was it called again? Location. GPS tracker. That one sounds very, very scary. Where can I put? So somewhere here maybe. Not granted. If I can spell. Come on. I'm just interested to see. Because maybe it was the old approach of checking permissions and then they kind of didn't delete. Yeah, so you see it's not even printing out that the permission was not granted. If I deny it, still not, because we haven't gone to main activity yet. Put a shortcut, come on. Yeah, there you go. So, and this should... That doesn't finish itself? That sounds a weird phrase to say. Yeah, so they should add a finish here as well. Otherwise it gets left on the stack. Not a big issue, and then each time you launch it again, it doesn't not even get hit. That weird service thing. Yeah, so a good spot again. You could remove all of this permission checks from here. How many are there? No, just that if statement. Because by the time this class is hit, you are guaranteed to have permission already. So yeah, that could simplify things a bit. Excellent. And also using the contracts here, right? Activity result launcher. String. Register for activity result. New start activity for result. No. New request permissions. Contract. Import. Granted. Like so. And then you say if granted, you'll start main. And then you just say launcher, launch. That's all. So I guess you would have that on the success when it's granted. And on error, I guess they just show that toast. So you could get rid of all of this other stuff, I think. Oh, they have a button as well. So you'd have to put the launch thing in the button, click. I think this should have the same effect. There you go. Deny shows the toast, click on the button, asks again, allow, and then it goes to the main activity. Start it up again, and it just immediately goes there. For case where permission is denied. You forget the service is never active though, they don't start a service. They just use it as like a getter. Yeah, not an actual service. Yeah, so it would have been multiple permissions in this case, you're right. But just for simplicity, as a public service announcement, if anyone has not seen the activity result contracts, it's awesome. Simplifies a lot of stuff. In this case, requesting permissions, because you don't need to check if they've already been granted. And any complexity like that. You just have this one callback that you get, and you get a boolean, is it being granted or not? If it's granted, you know, do your happy flow, otherwise show a message or a dialogue explaining why. And then all that you do is you just say, on that launcher thing, you say launch and you give it the permission. It's really simple, because this contract thing itself takes care of if it's already been allowed, then it won't start the permissions activity, it will just immediately come to this callback. Anyway, it's I really like what they've done with the contracts. It's basically the replacement for start activity for result. You might have seen it's deprecated these days, so contracts are the way to go. But anyway, I don't like to just change up their code the whole time. But I think I'm pretty much done. I don't know if there was an activity I've missed so far. Main favorites, permissions. Favorites I think we looked at as well. We saw that they're observing live data, which is good. Updating the adapter. Notify dataset change. This is bad, right? Because it's done... Oh no. Never mind. Yeah, I don't think this one is necessary because you're passing the list to the constructor, so you could probably remove that. But... And then when you... Okay, the one thing I had to fix was this click listener. But when you click on a favorite, it will go back to the home screen and show you the weather for that location specifically, which is nice. Otherwise, what's really the point of having favorites if you can't do anything with them? And then the two adapters were pretty interesting. Reading from assets. This click listener that I had to fix. And what I saw earlier was a test. The utility test. Of course we have the two examples. But the utility test is more interesting. Wait, use document tree contract. Oh. Oh. I didn't know about this. Prompt the user to select a directory. Oh, that's super nice. It's nice because it removes a lot of this other weird complexity from us. Having to know these intent actions, and if it's on O or greater you must do this. And then parsing the result, it's... No, I really like them. Very useful. I have quite a few pre-built contracts. Yeah, pick contact as well, very much appreciated. Take video, take picture, very nice. But the test itself, I mean, they had dreams. They had an idea of writing tests. But sometimes dreams don't always come true. So we just have some empty methods and extending this old JUnit thing. Is this thing even deprecated? I don't know, I've never used it. Implement test case. I guess it's kind of the same, except these days you don't need to extend anything, you just use the setup and you have the annotation. Then the test runner can pick that up. Don't need to extend test case. Let's run these and see if it works. My preview is frozen. I don't know if... Sorry, my preview is completely frozen, so I don't know if it's working or not. But hey, the tests pass. Yay. In 1 millisecond. Very impressive. Surprise, Android Studio doesn't show lint for override. Overrides nothing. Which class was that in? All good, alright, thanks. I guess my side is a bit weird. They wanted to test the icon selection code. That is a very big dream. I would be very scared of trying to test that thing. Alright, but I think I'm pretty much done. I wanted to just try and remember some things. So obviously, offline mode not implemented. What? But it's fine, it's not a strict requirement. Async tasks, I don't know if I must mention that even. Because, I mean, you don't have Kotlin, so I can't really shout at you. The 4 cats, I love that. Repo layer missing. %0 coverage. At least they had dreams, I guess. RX changed something. Did you upgrade to a new version of it, or how did stuff magically change? I don't use RX. I'm very unfamiliar with that stuff. So this weird service class, I mean, weird service class. I'm just gonna go through and some of them I probably won't mention, but I just want to get all my thoughts together. In the adapter, oh yeah, reading manually from assets. I do need to mention that because just because it's based on the indices, it will very easily break if you add or remove stuff from that folder. So I do need to mention that, unfortunately. Yeah, thank you. Users network location. No live updates. I don't know. I'm gonna rephrase all of this, but just so I remember. Android components not used. Yeah, the navigate to main screen when trying to view favorites. Come on. Multiple backstack entries, because it shows one activity for each favorite that you added. But I think the permission stuff was fine. It works. If you deny it, it doesn't let you in. Preferences, I guess they wanted to do preference stuff but didn't get around to it. Helper, constants. I mean, I think that's pretty much it. Tests. Async task is death. I know, I was surprised or sad when I saw them here. But again, it's Java, so I don't know what the best alternative would be these days. If we need to go and add Rx just for async. Or maybe using that executors thing. Or just use Kotlin. Yeah, I think I'm done. Unused code. Unused and commented out code is not too great. I mean, all in all, not the worst I've seen. It's done alright. I appreciate that there is some kind of view model. Where was it? Although it's in the database package. View models exist more than just to use database stuff. But the view models are basically just interacting with the DAOs. And then the service call happens in the activity. Yeah, I need to write that down actually. The service calls happen in the view, then that updates the DAO, which is then used by the view model to update the view. A repo layer would have been pretty good, I think. Using constraint layout, linear. That's true, I never really look at the layouts. It is constraint. Oh my word. We'll check it now. Rx or threads, yeah. Is that generic activity? Yeah, nice base activity to take care of everything. What's up, Goodman? Yeah, so a constraint layout is good, but they have a relative layout inside, so that's like ungood. Typically with a constraint layout, you don't need too many nested layouts inside of that, because it's quite flexible. Unless you maybe want to... What is this? Progress bar and errors. Unless you want to group a few of them together to like all change the visibility of all of them at once, or set backgrounds of only a part of the screen. But generally with constrained layouts you don't need nested layouts. Especially relative layouts shouldn't be used anymore. They're just quite expensive. Oh, yeah, they don't... Yeah, they just use Android text. That's a good point. So definitely rather use tools namespace. Oh, they do have it already. Oh, just for the context. But yeah, tools makes it so that that stuff only shows in the preview on the right and not actually at runtime. So that is indeed why it shows up the first time you launch it. You see 25 very briefly. And then the request permissions one, this is good. This is just constraint layout and 2 views inside. But again, string resources should be used. I saw it in a few places, not too often though. The favorites is similar. Wait, why do you... yeah, maybe I would have changed the title of the screen to favorites instead of having an additional one, but... and then you just have a recycler view underneath. Yeah, that's straightforward enough. And then the layouts for the recycler view items are just linear layouts. That's also fine because there's not really any nesting going on here. So I think linear layouts are still fine for these sort of simple cases where you don't have nesting. Like it's just a row of items. Maybe a bit simpler than a constraint layout, but meh. People still use relative. I mean, I don't think you should. I still see it as well, but from what I know, it's inexpensive, and constraint layout is generally just... okay, did I say that wrong? Generally, what am I saying? Generally, relative layouts are not efficient. So constraint layouts should be used instead. Jeez, my brain is running out, sorry. Because Room doesn't have internal async, forces people to use something at least. I suppose, but you can allow stuff on main thread, right? Database. You can say allow main thread queries, and then your theory goes out the window. But I don't think we should tell people about that, because then they will abuse it. Oh, my database is small, it doesn't matter if I'm doing stuff on the main thread. Phones nowadays have enough memory and RAM. I mean, that's also true, you're not really going to notice the side effects. But Goodman, don't tell people this, man. Tell them to just use constraint layout. Oh, no. And I mean, it's a good thing that when you do service calls on the main thread, it throws an exception, because I think a lot of times people wouldn't even notice if it's a fast service call. They use string resources. Where was that? Where was I looking? In here. But no, they definitely are using string resources in some places. I've seen it. Yeah, like on the lovely errors and stuff. But definitely needs to be a few more moved to resources. Okay, cool. Well, thanks everyone. I think I will close off for today, make some dinner, and then we have some late night testing to get ready for. We're going live to prod this evening, which is a relief because it's been 2 years on this stupid project. So tomorrow it'll be, I think, a big relief if all of this goes well. But we are essentially testing from 10:30 p.m. to 3-4 in the morning to make sure we don't break anything in production. So need to go get ready for that. But yeah, it's fun as always, seeing the interesting stuff people get up to. I think the most surprising thing for me here was Async Tasks and the manual assets reading. tears. No, Goodman, please, man. We need to be positive. We need this stuff to go out and just nothing to break because I'm so done. Congrats, finally going live. Yeah, it's stuff that affects so many different teams and pretty much everything in the app and on the website. So it's this huge project, and everyone is going to be around tonight, testing and stuff. Whew. But yeah, can't wait for it to be done. All right, cool. Thanks everyone. I'm gonna go make dinner and write up my little report thingy, and yeah, then we all sorted. I don't know when the next one will be. This is actually going to be my last week of assessments because I'm leaving my company. I'm going, not really going anywhere, I'm leaving my company and becoming permanent at the bank that I've been contracted to. If that makes sense. Because I've been contracted to the bank for years and years now, so I'm moving over to the bank. So it's sad times. I won't get these reviews to do anymore, but maybe I'll have to go back to my old videos. You've booked leave, so they're not available for flames. They'll find you, you know that, right? They'll come looking for you, knock on your door, throw a laptop at you and tell you to fix it. Congrats. Yeah, no, thanks, man. It's awesome. I'm starting on the 1st of November. So it's going to be cool. Nothing's really changing on my day-to-day job, though. It's just essentially moving from one company to the bank, and I'm staying on the same team and doing the same work. So it's a bit strange, but still exciting. But yeah, thank you guys for that. Anyway, rambling on a bit. Thanks everyone for stopping by. Appreciate it. Hopefully we saw some interesting stuff in this review. I know I learned some things. And we'll see you in the next one, hopefully. Hopefully I'll have one or two more to do before it's all over. But yeah, dinner time for me, and yeah, then a late night of testing. So thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheerio.